Risk of loss.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 102.5 and 106.3.
79-52 Vanderbilt.
I think he's going to coach up by Cheryl.
You're going to see more moves.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Honest hockey talk and opinions. This is Penalty Box Radio. Live with Alex Doherty and Sean Smith on Smashville's Best Sports Talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hello and welcome to Penalty Box Radio Live, presented by Salas Realty Group. Salas Realty Group, your premier destination for Nashville, Tennessee real estate. We're also brought to you by the Nashville Spartans, Nashville's one and only junior hockey team based in Nolensville. I am Alex Doherty, and today with me is Sean Smith, as always. Sean, what is up? We're here to talk some hockey. How are you?
Got a big hockey weekend coming up myself. Headed up to somewhere between Milwaukee and Chicago for a youth tournament.
The land of hockey, somewhere in between Chicago and Milwaukee. We all know it well. Today on the show, the Preds win an exciting game at home in overtime to the Leafs, but they lose their follow-up game last night to the Canucks. We're going to talk about both of those games. Sean has some big opinions about the Canucks game, so I hear.
It's true.
We will also be joined on the show by Preds' first-round pick in the 2023 NHL draft, Tanner Molendyk, calling in from Saskatoon. He is right in the middle of a season with the Saskatoon Blades, and we're going to talk to him about that and everything else going on with him, so that'll be very exciting. Tune in for that. We're also going to analyze the Preds' power play, what's going on with that unit, and at the end of the show, the 3-on-3 draft, of course. But we're going to start today with the puck drop topic, and the topic is this, Sean. Is the Maple Leafs win from last Saturday, is that the biggest win for the Nashville Predators of this season so far? Now, there have only been 4 wins. So it's slim pickings, but is it the biggest win? So let's just do a quick reminder of the wins. A 3-0 win over Seattle, a 4-1 win over the Rangers on the road, a 5-1 win over the Sharks at home, and then the 3-2 overtime win over the Leafs. So I'm going to go ahead and just hand it over to you. Is the Maple Leafs win the biggest of those 4 wins?
I'm going to go with a no, Alex.
Oh, okay. Why?
I say no. Well, first off, I think that the Rangers game is probably the biggest win for them, and the reason for that, Rangers are the third-ranked team in the league right now. They're second in the East, and to me, you look at the Maple Leafs and you see the flash, right? You see Austin Matthews, right? And you're like, oh wow, that was really impressive, but. That was an overtime win, and it was certainly exciting. Don't get me wrong. I mean, excitement counts here, but I feel like the Rangers win was it was sheer domination.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Leafs win being the biggest win. The Toronto, everything around the Toronto Maple Leafs, when it comes to the NHL, is just bigger, right?
Yeah,
they're the Texas of the NHL. Everything's bigger in Toronto. That's what I'm saying. That's the analogy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs are everything that any Canadian hockey outlet is going to talk about what the Leafs are doing, and whenever you beat the Maple Leafs, it's a big deal. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But also, I really think that they took it to them like it was a close win on the score sheet, and it was an overtime win. But I mean, I really think that they had a decent start. They had some power play action with Ryan O'Reilly getting 2 goals, which we'll talk about. They also had the overtime scenario where they just kind of dominated the overtime. Roman Josi getting that goal. So I think it's the Leafs.
Well, I think too. Again, overtime wins are exciting, and the Preds. I think the Preds have been, at least in recent history, pretty impressive in overtime. So, I mean, anytime you win in overtime, it's exciting, even if it comes down to a shootout. It doesn't matter to me.
So there we go. We are going to talk about the 2 games from the last week. We're also going to interview Tanner Molendyk, like we said. That's going to come in the second segment. We're going to talk about the power play and a lot more. So just remember that you can also text the show. If you would like to text us a question, a comment, something you want to say about the Nashville Predators, you've probably we'll talk about it on the air if we get time. Let's talk about the Maple Leafs game because we just did that. So here's how everything went down. The penalty kill gets things started by allowing a goal. William Nylander on the backside gets a goal. It's 1-0 Leafs. But then Mr. 1,000 games, Ryan O'Reilly, in game number 999 of his career, takes advantage of some pretty poor goaltending by Samsonov and ties it up. He gets a little pass down there on the power play, scoots over and just slides it in. Pretty nice goal there. I mean, goaltending, I don't know.
Spotty.
Little spotty.
Questionable.
Yeah, Samsonov, I don't know. Then, speaking of questionable, the fourth line for the Predators really did not do very well in that game. There was a particular sequence where, and the fourth line we're talking about in this game was Liam Foudy, Juuso Parssinen, Philip Tomasino. They got caught out there on a long, bad shift, and Mark Giordano puts the Leafs up 2-1. But then, another power play scenario for the Predators. Philip Forsberg gathers the puck on the left side, sends a really just pinpoint pass to Ryan O'Reilly in the front of the net, and he tips it right on goal for his second power play goal and a game-tying goal. And then from there on, I just felt like the Predators dominated. Third period, overtime, they kind of owned the rest of the game.
I agree.
And then Roman Josi gets the winner for his first goal of the year.
And it was pretty too.
It was
The whole sequence.
And let's not forget Mr. Tommy Novak. What did he do? All he did was he stole the puck from Austin Matthews on the board.
Some guy, some unknown out there.
So some just guy, and stole it from him, took the puck down and gathered it in, and then started the rush that led to the Josi winner. So a great game. But let's talk about the Canucks game.
Okay.
Do you want to just start with what you want to say about the Canucks game?
Okay, so here's my thing about the Canucks game. And,
Okay.
and I will say I appreciated what the Preds were doing in this game, despite the outcome and the lopsided score, whatever you want to call it. I think there were some situations, maybe a penalty here or there that were, in my opinion, questionable, that kind of led to some situations that allowed the Preds to lose control of the game. But I feel like they played a very fast and aggressive game. In fact, after that questionable penalty that led to a goal, gosh, I feel like they were probably the fastest I'd seen them skate and play, and the most intensity I'd seen them play with in maybe this whole season. I mean, they looked like they were on it. When we talked earlier about not wanting it as much as the other team, it seemed like that message was received.
Got it.
It seemed like they wanted it worse than the Canucks did, even though the outcome wasn't what they wanted. But I'm going to tell you what I think the Canucks did in both games that really just stifled the Preds' offense. And that was they are just setting up at the blue line and making it really hard for them to get a good controlled zone entry, forcing dump-ins. And despite the way the team played under John Hines, this current configuration of the team does not seem to be set up for playing dump and chase hockey.
Okay. I think to some extent you're right. I saw, here's what I watched in the first period of the Canucks game. I thought that the Predators came out extremely fast and were really just pushing it. And I mean, I thought they had some really good chances. They got the we haven't really talked about it yet, but the penalty shot from Liam Foudy, he didn't have the right it kind of went wrong on him. I mean, it was a little toe pick there.
Ice is slippery.
Yeah. So that was kind of a problem. But, I do think that they came out pretty hot, and then they get the two goals in 30 seconds from Colton Sissons and Dante Fabro. Great shot from Dante Fabro. And I think there was a lot of momentum. There was some weird stuff going on. And I think my takeaway, this might be unfair, but my takeaway from that game, I really kind of think you needed a little bit more from Kevin Lankinen.
Okay.
Two of those goals were a little bit of a rebound situation. At least I know the first one was, and then the JT Miller goal was a little bit, just watching that one again, like it just didn't quite get there and didn't quite have the handle on it. So, Kevin Lankinen he's not UC Soros, but you kind of want him to be a little bit better than that. I mean, am I being unfair?
I don't think you're being unfair. I mean, you can chalk up a couple of those, like you said, to weird bounces, rebounds, things like that. But all in all, it's pretty easy to say. I think at the end of the night, Lankinen probably wanted a few of those back. I mean, you can always say that, but I mean, you're saying that these were not elite shots. These were not, as I believe, if I'm using the term correctly, Alex, these should not have been expected goals. Is that right?
Yeah, you're using that correctly.
Ooh, I'm learning.
Yeah, so I just my opinion, I think Lankinen maybe could have played a little bit better. Pettersson's goal, Pettersson's second goal was just a great play by him and great shot. I mean, he's a very good shooter. But the first one wasn't all that great, and then his third goal was an empty netter, I believe. So,
Correct.
Yeah, I think think about it like this: if UC Saros was in that game, I think maybe it's possible for them to win that game. I think it could happen.
I'm with you. I'm on board with that thought.
I think it could be like 2-2 in the third instead of 4-2.
Sure, I believe you.
Yeah. So any other final thoughts? You know what I was wondering? I kept seeing the. I felt like a lot of people were falling in that one end of the ice.
No, I agree. And
I mean, specifically where Foodie fell. Like it was like it was somewhere maybe 3 feet, 4 feet above the circle, like where he toe picked.
Right.
And then like someone else fell really near there.
But you got to think, where are they located? They're in the Pacific Northwest, right? A lot of moisture in the air. Ice conditions are probably a little bit different.
Oh yes, okay.
I
don't know where you were going with that, like Bigfoot or something.
I mean, really, you're going to blame?
Well, I don't know. You're talking about the Pacific Northwest. I had no idea where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'd say the ice conditions were because of the rampaging Sasquatch population that comes through there.
Makes sense.
Just a big problem they have with ice conditions.
Yeah.
Every time you look up, someone's chasing off another Sasquatch.
Yeah, right.
Get
exactly.
out of here.
Well, the Predators are still in the area of the rampaging Sasquatches when they go to Seattle here in a minute. But so I think that was a tough game. They've now lost 2 to the Canucks, which is not great. I mean, Vancouver's not bad.
No,
I mean they're not a bad team.
No,
Quinn Hughes is great.
Vancouver is doing really well, I believe. I don't see why we would look at that as like, oh well, the Canucks. I mean, the Canucks are quite frankly a solid team right now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think the Predators where they're at right now, they're 4-5, and I think that makes sense. We're still seeing a lot of things kind of work. They're working out some things. They're trying to figure out their penalty kill. They're trying to figure out the power play, which is improved, and we'll talk about later. They're trying to get some of their lineup situation, and they're still dealing with injuries. Cody Glass is now out for another week or 2.
Yeah.
There's a chance he returns sometime during this road trip. We don't know. I mean, I'm just going to say I think it would be probably nice if he could get back for the Winnipeg game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's the end of the road trip, so we'll see if that happens. But so speaking of that area, Pacific Northwest and the BC area and areas of Canada and the western side of the country, we are going to, when we come back, have someone from that area, Tanner Molendyk, first-round draft pick of the Nashville Predators in 2023. He's going to join us and talk about all kinds of stuff, so we're really looking forward to that. But until we do that, Nashville, if you're looking for a house to buy, sell, or invest in, look no further than Salas Realty Group. Salas is not just about property, they're about people. And they build long-lasting relationships that are about you, your needs, and your dreams. Salas Realty Group stands for trust, transparency, and community. They're committed to making a positive impact in Middle Tennessee, one home at a time. Ready to make a move? Visit SalasRealtyGroup.com today and experience real estate the Salas way.
Whether it's college football,
Players might end up not going to Alabama or Georgia.
or the NFL,
I think that this team wins the AFC South.
Trevor knows. Join ESPN's Trevor Maddich every Tuesday at 4:30 on Stillman and Company as he gives his opinions on the latest from the gridiron.
I'm going to the team where I can get a ring.
Trevor Maddich brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics, where experience matters, on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Lee Company is the trusted expert for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and general maintenance for facilities throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. Our technology and expertise guides facility owners and managers to smart decisions. When you need a reliable partner to keep your facility profitable and running 24/7, we hope you'll think of us. Visit LeeCompany.com to learn more. That's LeeCompany.com. Lee Company, all you need.
Hose and Belting Specialties in Murfreesboro is your local source for hydraulic, air, water, and chemical hoses, along with conveyor, timing, and metric belt needs. They stock metric fittings for both air and hydraulic applications. Hose and Belting Specialties stocks Parker hydraulic hoses and fittings, Goodyear ContiTech industrial hoses, and V-belts, just to name a few of their lines. For any of your industrial needs, call 615-895-HOSE. 615-895-HOSE.
Hey, are you seeking relief? Maybe you would just like to enhance your day or night. Did you know there are illegal THC products available right here in Tennessee? I'm serious. You can have legal THC products shipped to the comfort of your home. Comfort in Cannabis is only one website away. Visit greentreescompany.com. That's Green Trees with a Z. Change your life today.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's reunion weekend as Vanderbilt football takes on Auburn at First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 3, pregame coverage at 1:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 94.9 The Fan and the Fan app.
This is Greg McElroy, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Black sends it across. One-timer scores. Tanner Molendyke one-times the puck for the top of the right circle between the 5-hole of Drew Sim.
Moving in, a shot save made, rebound loose in front. Kick back up high, Molendyke onto it, shoots and scores! Hansen gives it to Molendyke. Blades have it, Molendyke makes a turn against Armstrong and Geekie. Long shot save is made, the rebound, he scores! Roulette has it again on the left wing. Back across from Molendyke again, he shoots, he scores!
Nashville is proud to select Tanner Molendyke from Saskatoon. Welcome to Smashville, Tanner.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember even walking down the stairs. I think I was shaking too much, but I think I don't know. This place is awesome. I mean, just walking around and seeing all the people singing and all the people screaming every night. I think it seems like a lot of fun here.
That is Tanner Molendyke talking after he was drafted back in June here in Nashville, getting drafted by the hometown team. That's got to be fun. And I believe we have him on the line here. Tanner, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you guys?
Very good. How are you doing up there? Are you in Saskatoon now, or are you on the road?
I am actually in Saskatoon right now. Just we play tomorrow.
Awesome. That's great. So, defenseman for the Saskatoon Blades, first-round pick by the Nashville Predators in the 2023 draft. And right now you are playing with Saskatoon, and you've got 3 goals, 10 assists in the first 9 games with the Blades. By the way, that puts you in the top 10 in the WHL in scoring among defensemen. Blades are off to an 8-5 start. I think you've been a big reason why. Tell us about the start of this season for you. How's it been going up there?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, it's been busy, a lot of bus trips, but I mean, they're where you get the most memories. And I think, we had a really good start. We've been on a bit of a skid here so far, but I think we're gonna get back to work here soon.
What are those bus trips like up there in Western Canada? That's got to kind of a long, long trip. So, how long are those trips up there?
Yeah, so. Our shortest one's just an hour to PA, and then we had one to Red Deer, which is, I think, 6 or 7, which is a big battle, but it's always fun. Yeah.
So give our listeners a feel for what it's like to play at a major junior hockey league like the WHL. I mean, here in the South, obviously a lot of people here know college football, they know college basketball, they know the NFL and all this stuff. But give people an idea of what it's like for playing for people up in Saskatoon or playing on the road in Red Deer or Brandon or some of these places. What's the atmosphere like for some of those games?
Yeah, it's actually really good. I mean, a lot of people talk down the fans and stuff and say they're not always the greatest in the WHL, but I think they're top notch. I mean, in PA where we are tomorrow, and they get the old goalie chant going where they go you suck, and then they say the last name, which is, I think it's pretty sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's pretty tough to play in, but it's really fun.
So I know that you kind of missed a few games here recently. I think you've been maybe a little under the weather. Is that what's been going on?
Yeah, I just had a little bit of a sickness. We're good now, though.
You're all good to go, okay? Because I know you guys play tomorrow. That's good to know. Glad to hear you're on the mend.
Hey Tanner, this is Sean over here on the other side of the studio, and I noticed, and maybe there's a little bit of kinship here. I come from a hometown of 1,400 people. You come from McBride, which has about 600 people in it. Pretty small town. What, besides being the home of future NHLer Tanner Molendyk, what is McBride known for?
Yeah, it's actually known for its sledding. I mean, it's a huge sledding town. It's got mountains all around it, surrounded. So, I mean, I think we've won it probably like 4 times. We've won best sledding town of British Columbia, so I think that's what it's known for.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I don't
Not
think my hometown has anything that quite compares to that, but that's pretty exciting. Now I've got a couple of questions. Speaking of McBride, speaking of your hometown growing up, I noticed that your father, it seems like he was a pretty prolific goal scorer as a forward. I'm curious, if you're the son of a forward who scores goals, why play defense?
Yeah, I think he was a good goal scorer. I mean, he always talks about his highlights and sends them to me, but I don't know. I think I just kind of always started as a defenseman, but yeah, I think that's always been my thing. It's just kind of taking care of my end. I think that's always been part of kind of what I wanted to be.
Does he ever give you like, hey, you should have gone with the backhand here, or hey, you had a shot at you had a chance at a shot here, you should have taken it? Does he ever give you that kind of advice, or does he let you do your thing?
No, he's pretty on me about that. He's famous words of the old all Swedish, no Finnish, but yeah, I get that all the time. So that's probably what he says most.
Nice.
Now Tanner, it seems like at some point, your hockey skills, everybody knew you're headed somewhere, and to really kind of take off and go to the next level, you had to move away from home and head to the Yale Hockey Academy. What was that experience like, having to leave your family at a fairly young age to go and play hockey elsewhere if you really wanted to continue your development?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I've always been a big family guy, but I mean, I had a lot of support systems kind of help me, I don't know, get around and kind of figure out how to not live on my own, but live without family. So that was probably pretty big, and I think I think I learned a lot from that.
What age did you head out to do that, out of curiosity?
I moved out, it would have been 14 turning 15.
That's incredible. I
Yeah.
can't imagine being out away from my family for any amount of time at that age. I think I would have been like a lost boy or something, and just errant and getting in trouble all the time. That's
Well, Sean gets in trouble now. I mean,
that's not true.
That's not an exception. But let me ask you about. So take us back to when you first get down here. You get drafted. Here being Nashville, you get drafted. You go to development camp. That's probably a great experience. But then you get to go to Predators training camp, and I know that those had to be some pretty incredible experiences, and probably some long days, no doubt about it. At the Ford Ice Center. Tell us what that was like for you, your first experience kind of playing and practicing alongside NHL players like Roman Josi and Philip Forsberg.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I mean, they did a great job of kind of handling all the times and how many guys they had out there, so it was pretty sweet. And then, yeah, like you said, I mean, I was kind of starstruck when I kind of stepped on the ice with Forsberg and Josi there the first time. I didn't really know what I was looking at. I kind of just seen those guys on TV, and all of a sudden I was on the ice with them, so I thought that was pretty special.
Did you have like a wow moment where you were like, oh wow, this is what the NHL is really like? And I mean, like when you're on the ice, like going through a drill and seeing the speed, where you're like, oh man, this is a next level. Like was there a moment like that for you where you kind of were just like, oh man, this is definitely different?
Yeah, it was actually, so they had their power plays going because they were playing the one night, and I got the penalty kill against the top unit.
Oh wow!
And I've never seen a puck snap around so fast in my life. So that was definitely an eye opener for me.
Did you get a piece of one? Like, did you stop it at all, or did they score on you?
I think it was in the back of the net before I even turned around, to be honest with you.
Well, that's gonna happen. Hey, at least it wasn't a real game, right? At least it was practice.
Exactly.
I want to ask you one more, just a couple more questions. What away from the ice? Let's take hockey out of the equation. What kind of things? What's your hobby? How do you keep yourself entertained while you're recovering between games? I think this is something people don't think about. Like, hockey is such an intense sport, but then you have to spend time recovering and resting. Do you play video games? Do you read? Is it you TV and movie guy? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good group of guys here, so I think I like to kind of hang out with them. We spend a lot of time together, either, watching hockey games or, just playing board games and stuff like that. And, I don't know, we spend a lot of time together kind of just hanging out, so I think that's the biggest thing I kind of do is kind of just getting out of the house and hanging out with them.
Alex just put out a really interesting article about the current video game obsessions of the guys in the Predators locker room. Are you a video game guy? If so, what are you playing?
Yeah, I play. I'm not gonna lie, I play, but me and my cousins have some good battles on NHL 24 right now, so that's probably the game right now.
Yeah, you got to play the chill. You got to play that. I mean, I know a lot of guys play that. I know Forsberg says he was playing. Maybe he's playing. Maybe you're playing against him and don't even know it. Maybe he's out there lurking.
I hope not.
I did want to ask you one quick question, just because we just got some news recently about this, and I know everyone is devastated about the death of Adam Johnson in the EHL and the issue with the neck guards. Recently, and this was like an hour or two ago, the WHL released a statement saying that all players are going to start wearing neck guards on this Friday, I believe. So pretty soon. Just wanted to get your take on that. I mean, like, is that something that you think is a good idea to start wearing those on the ice?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's huge. I mean, you see a lot of close calls. I mean, even this year, our goalie got clipped with one. But it just barely touches like underneath his chin, so it didn't cut him too bad. But yeah, I don't know. My mom texted me after it happened. She's like, "If you're not wearing a neck guard, I'm gonna kill you."
That's a good mom.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they're huge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is, and I mean, honestly, when I played in high school, I didn't play anything level that you did. We had to wear them, and then it just kind of stopped. It just kind of was like they stopped wearing them. I didn't really know why. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I think that's a good move. All right, Tanner. So tomorrow you guys play who? Prince Albert? Is that where you're going?
Yeah, that's where we're going. Yeah.
Okay. So is that a home game for y'all?
That's it's gonna be away.
It's on the road. Okay. Well, good luck in that, and I know you'll be back in action. Good luck to the Saskatoon Blades. You guys are keeping it rolling. Good luck, and hopefully, man, we can see you sometime here in Nashville wearing the Predators gold.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Tanner. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tanner.
Bye.
Now, of course, Tanner plays defense, and the Predators have had some incredible defenders over the years. Weber, Ellis, Ekholm, Subban, and, of course, Roman Josi. But every great defender needs a great partner. And when you're looking to buy or sell a house in the greater Nashville area, you'll find a great partner in Salas Realty Group. Their comprehensive listings offer detailed property descriptions, images, and virtual tours for an immersive experience of Nashville homes for sale. At Salas Realty Group, building relationships is their top priority. With unparalleled customer satisfaction, make Salas your trusted partner in Nashville, Tennessee real estate.
When Smashville wants to rock. Nashville's rock station. 102.9 The Buzz. Insightful discussion.
When we talk about the person that these players are.
3 goals scored in the first 5 minutes.
He wants to be the starter, day one. Mixed with spirited debate.
Okay, but Derek, let's Professor Derek.
They are Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. With Caroline Fenton, Willie Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
We got the whole thing covered. We got it all covered.
Here.
Weekdays at 11 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Whether you drink it neat, in a cocktail, or like our boys at Bridgestone, on ice, Blue Note Bourbon hits all the right notes. From the ever-popular Blue Note Juke Joint to our fabled Blue Note Crossroads. It doesn't matter if you're watching the Preds at a bar or just hanging at home. Our double gold medal winning, hand-bottled, straight bourbon whiskey always sounds like a good time is about to be had. Blue Note Bourbon. Take note. Sip responsibly.
Need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit could get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Willie Donick here. Listen up. You've got a ton of equity in your home, and Loan Pronto can help turn that equity into cash to put it to use. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards or pay off personal loans. Start the home improvement project you've been looking for. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate is protected. Call right now, 615-499-5780. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards. 615-499-5780 or go online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com.
When you want all the
going in and the score, blast the score. He risks one, they score.
And don't forget the
oh, what a stop! Sliding across to make the save. The backhander, nice stop.
When all you want is Smashville, we have you covered. Hear every Predators game right here. We are your home for Smashville. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to Penalty Box Radio, live on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Join the Nashville Spartans, the hockey sensation of the city. Experience thrilling games, family-friendly fun, and unity. Visit NashvilleSpartansHockey.com/tickets, select your game, and then use this promo code, PBR50. Make sure to enter that, PBR50. And you get 50% off when you check out. That means you don't pay 100% of the ticket. You pay only 50% of the ticket. Don't miss the excitement. Be a part of Spartans hockey today. Sean, we got some texts to talk about. But before we do that, can we just take a real quick second to appreciate Tanner Molendyk for coming on the show and also admitting that about how fast the Predators' power play was against him and how the puck was in the net before he even turned around.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, honestly. It's got to be an eye-opening experience when you move from, say, a junior league to NHL level, and it's like, oh, wow, this is... And
let's not ignore, like, he's very good. Yeah. He's very good. He's a great skater.
We didn't really skater, I would say.
We didn't really talk... He's a what?
An elite skater.
I would agree with that. We didn't really talk about it because, well, we just wanted to talk to him about other things, but... I mean, he's one of the best skaters in that draft.
Easily.
In a very good draft. And he's going to be very good for this team, I think. I think he's definitely going to make it here. He's already signed his ELC. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's here next year.
Yeah.
And, so he's great. And so for him to come in and be like, oh, my gosh, this is total domination, tells you the level of that step that it takes. So we have a couple texts. Let me read a couple here. One person texts in, what are your thoughts on Fagemo and Foudy as pickups? Do either of them have a chance of sticking long-term? I'm going to say I don't know about the long-term thing. These were, when I talked to Barry Trotz about this, he said these were free looks at guys. These are just chances to come in and bring these guys in, see how they look. He really likes Liam Foudy's speed. He likes Fagemo's goal-scoring ability. Neither of them have done anything crazy. Fagemo scored a power play goal. But, but he also said, these guys don't have a secondary skill that sets them apart.
Yeah.
And if they don't develop that, then no, they're not going to stick around long term. So I would say right now it's like wait and see.
I think they're getting an extended look too, just because there's a couple of key injuries on the team.
Yeah.
And so they're really getting an extended chance to show, whether or not they have that secondary skill that's going to allow them to stick. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some changes when guys come back from injury.
Yeah. Will from Nashville says, it's disappointing to see the Canucks sweep us last week and this week, but they've had our number for years, but it's closer than it used to be. And then he adds, I remember them mopping the floor with us during the Hines era, so progress. And I would agree with that. You remember a couple years ago, the Canucks scored five power play goals?
Yeah, it was bad.
That was one of the worst. That was like one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was just like they kept scoring power play goals. They were like 5 of 7 or something like that.
It was one of those shut the TV off games.
Yes. That was a Hines era. So yes, you're right, Will. Progress? Yeah. I also don't think the Canucks are all that great of a team. I mean, they're not bad. They're pretty good, but I don't think they're better than Vegas. I don't think they're better than Dallas or Colorado or Edmonton. So, yeah, it's weird that they have been able to beat Nashville so much. And then a couple other texts. One person texts a very long sentence about some I don't really know what that's about, but then it says, with the season just getting started, do you think the Predators are doing better at this point compared to last season?
Well, I'm not going to be like a game counter here and go back and analyze the wins and losses, but I'm a lot more encouraged by what I've seen thus far than what I saw at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, I would agree. And there's a lot of things, a lot of parts of the team that have improved. One of which, Sean, is the power play.
Oh.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
I have spent some time looking at the power play. I try to watch most games. I watch all the games, and then I try to at least go back and watch parts of games again to see if we can see anything or notice anything that we can bring up to people. But let's just talk about the raw numbers right now, because right now the power play is actually producing, and that's great to see.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like a black hole of offense on the power play.
It has. They are currently 12th in the NHL in power play, 21%. But since October 19th, which was after they played their 4th game, they are 7th in the NHL, which is scoring at a rate of 28%. That's
great.
Here's some things that I've noticed, and this is an amalgamation of things I've noticed, things that the broadcast has brought up, things that I've heard other people talk about. The biggest thing is the Roman Josi factor has really changed the look of the whole power play. Him moving from a quarterback style at the top of the unit to just roaming, where he's on the left and on the right. I know we've talked about the Roman thing.
I want to say it again.
Okay, go.
Yosi's Roman.
That's right.
Alex.
He's Roman. But it's bizarre, and it's changed the dynamic of everything, because he can do so many different things. He doesn't have to be in one area.
Right.
And so that's a big thing. But then also Ryan O'Reilly moving in and out of the slot area from high to low, not staying there and just like setting up, but he's moving in and out. That's great to see. Now, when Glass was in there, it was him and Glass. It was Glass and Ryan O'Reilly kind of switching off from the low slot or behind the net to the slot area. Now Evangelista's there. He stays more to the outside. And then Forsberg has been staying on the left side almost entirely. He's been on that left side, passing, shooting, all kinds of stuff.
I think you mentioned O'Reilly not just being stationary in front of the net, and I look back to the power play, a few seasons ago where Mikhail Granlund had a lot of success just kind of posting up in front of the goalie and just being obnoxious up there. Adding O'Reilly just kind of, I don't know, you kind of have to guess about where he is with that movement. And that element, I think, just changes that dynamic enough to where now you've got to worry about him doing more than just standing there. You've got to worry about him being mobile and changing the angles and all those things. That, I think, is really...
I think the key is Ryan O'Reilly. He is something else.
The O'Reilly factor?
Yeah. He is something else.
Roman.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's just a different – I mean, we'll have to do an entire show on this, but I think Ryan O'Reilly has transformed this team in many different ways.
I agree.
And I think his whole mindset in the power play is what they've needed. They've needed someone that can actually be in the dirty area and get the puck where it needs to go.
Yeah.
And they've never really had that. I mean, Johansson tried to be that. He didn't really do that. Mike Fisher kind of tried to do that sometimes. Victor Arvidsson was like a very weird substitute for that. The whole jump screen stuff.
I would say the jump screen.
So, they've never really had the O'Reilly in there, the O'Reilly factor. The second unit, I'll just touch on real quick, is right now it's Novak, Parssinen, and either Tomasino or Fragemo, whichever one's in the game.
Right.
Nyquist and Carrier. So I think it's interesting Alex Carrier getting the primary duties on the second unit. I would have thought Fabro.
Yeah, and he's played that role in the past.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're just liking something that Carrier does back there a little bit more.
Maybe it's saving Fabro because he does more of the penalty kill units or
Possibly.
penalty kill minutes.
That would make sense.
So, but the key to the second unit is Novak.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Novak is he's just a beast.
There's, you mentioned O'Reilly coming in and changing things, but I think if as much as you want to point to O'Reilly kind of changing things, you want to look at Novak and talk about how he's really, I don't know, there's a dynamic to his game, I think, that elevates everybody else when he's out there. I think he makes other players, I'm not saying like he makes them look better. I'm saying he actually makes them better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not uncommon with a lot of players. You have certain players have line mates that can really elevate them, but I think Novak kind of lifts everybody when he's out there.
Yeah. I mean, everything I'm seeing from Tommy Novak out there just makes me think that between the three, Novak, Tomasino, and Evangelista, between those three, which they're kind of a cohort, kind of not. Between those three, Novak to me is the clear front runner for that guy's going to be not only going to get a significant next contract, but he has the chance to be great. I mean, he really does. I mean, his skill with the puck is unmatched with those three.
Oh yeah,
he's great compared to that. I mean, he could be a second line center, right now. I mean, he is kind of so. So that's great to see. I want to say this last thing about the power play before we get going to the next break. But here's, I think, the three most important things that a power play should do. The number one most important thing is to score a goal. That's not breaking any news. I know that's not new. But the second most important thing is to build momentum for the 5-on-5 game.
Yeah.
And the third is to not give momentum to the other team. The power play in the past has been bad at all three of those things. It hasn't scored, it hasn't gotten any momentum, and it's given momentum to the other team.
Yeah.
In almost every way for the last 3, 4, 5 years. This power play feels different. Now, they don't score every time, but they've been scoring more, and they're building momentum, and third most importantly, not giving any to the other team.
Well, so you're saying that the power play is doing well. That means that right now, Brunette is the one calling the shots.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Brunette in charge of the power play until it's bad, in which it's somebody
job.
Else. That's
right.
right. So on the other side of the break, we're going to preview the next few games for the Predators. We're going to talk about what we can expect over the next 3 games as they continue on their 5-game road trip out west. And then we're going to have the 3-on-3 draft, a really good topic for tonight. Looking forward to that. But look, something I don't look forward to is buying a home. And do you know why?
Why?
Because it's a very stressful experience. It's a huge decision. There's a lot of things to consider and analyze. But with an experienced real estate professional at Salas Realty Group, you can find your dream home in the most vibrant and dynamic city in the world, Nashville, Tennessee. So whether you're a first-time home buyer, an investor, or you're selling your property, Salas Realty can guide you every step of the way. They have intimate knowledge of Nashville's neighborhoods, schools, and market trends. They'll match you with the perfect home to suit your lifestyle and needs. If you want to get started, go to salasrealtygroup.com and experience real estate the Salas way.
Every day we are live and local.
I think Vanderbilt is steady, disciplined.
It's been so long since Tennessee's gotten out of the first weekend.
And your source for Nashville sports.
I don't mind going to another team. You want to know what the coaching staff's going to look like.
We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
We pride ourselves on being transparent, opening up the books, and sharing all the secrets of the diamond industry. We have a passion for this, and part of having a passion is sharing that passion.
Genesis Diamonds Vice President David Cooper says, at Genesis, you don't just get an entry-level course in diamonds, you get a PhD.
We love educating our customers, even over-educating our customers about diamonds and gemstones, so they can truly see the difference in what we offer.
At Genesis, diamonds are not a side business. It's their only business.
We eat, breathe, and sleep diamonds.
So whether you end up buying at Genesis or not, come for the education.
The better educated we can make you at Genesis Diamonds, the better a shopper you're going to be, whether you shop with us or anyone else. You will be able to tell the difference and know what you are buying, so you make the best decision for you.
Genesis Diamonds, proud to offer one of the largest selections of GIA certified diamonds in the nation, with no middleman markups, no retail pricing games, no commission salespeople, and no nonsense. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Vanderbilt Commodore fans, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, along with 94.9 The Fan, is your new home for broadcast of games and the Commodore Hour on Monday evenings. Catch all the action for football, men's and women's basketball, and baseball all season long. Go Doors!
Houston Clinic Orthopedics wants to thank their patients for voting them the #1 orthopedic practice in the Nashville Scene Poll for 3 years in a row. Their physicians specialize in spine, joint replacement, knee, hip, upper extremity, and other orthopedic conditions. At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, they adhere to all CDC guidelines for the patient's and staff safety. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all physicians, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online today.
Experience the thrill of gaming glory at Harrah's Casino and Hotel, just a little over 2 hours northwest of Nashville off I-24. Call 1-800-HARRAHS and reserve your room today to indulge in top-tier casino gaming, appetizing dining experiences, and their cutting-edge sports book. As a Caesar Rewards destination, every moment you spend at Harrah's Metropolis earns you points across the entire Caesars empire. It's your time to win with Harrah's Metropolis. Must be 21 or older to gamble. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
From Belle Meade to Madison.
Dude, you've been in the league for how long? Like, what were you thinking there?
We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Jared. If you're listening to us on I-24 towards Murfreesboro or I-65 towards Spring Hill, make sure you check out 106.3 for another great way to hear Nashville's best sports talk.
Hey Nashville, this is Mookie Betts. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
And welcome back to Penalty Box Radio Live, presented by Salas Realty Group. Salas Realty Group, your premier destination for Nashville, Tennessee real estate. Sean?
Alex?
I am wondering if you've ever been to Seattle.
Yes, I have been to Seattle.
What's it like out there?
Okay, first off, it's the Pacific Northwest, so there's rampaging Sasquatches everywhere. The second, ice conditions.
Nice callback to previously in the show.
No, Seattle is I really enjoyed my time in Seattle. You know, it's the weather's a little bit different than you're used to here in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the city is, in my opinion, it's walkable. There's a lot of cool stuff to do there. Have you ever been to Seattle, Alex?
I never have. I really would actually like to go, but the reason I'm asking that is because that's where the Predators are headed next.
Oh.
So they are headed to Seattle to take on the Kraken. That is tomorrow night. And then they go to Edmonton for an afternoon game. So that'll be fun. So it's a 3 o'clock local start, I guess. So 4 o'clock here. Is that right? So they play at Seattle, they play at Edmonton, and then they go to Calgary next Tuesday. So then that's the next 3 games that the Predators play until we have a show again. I mean, I'd like to see them win 2 of these games outright. 4 points out of 6. I think I would like to see that. I think they can beat Seattle. They proved that they can do that earlier this year.
I think so.
I think either Edmonton or Calgary. Now, the Edmonton, I mean, we know what happens against Edmonton.
Yeah, I things like that happen when you play Edmonton, but I also feel like they have it in their – I think they could do it. I think they could win this game.
Yeah, so that'll be a tough game. Calgary, you know, they're not bad. I mean, I think there's a lot of teams in the Pacific division that are just really tough right now. I mean, I wouldn't want to play anyone except for San Jose.
Yeah.
Calgary's, they're not really playing well right now, but I think they're still a pretty good team. They got a lot of good players. Even Anaheim. I mean, like the Predators don't play Anaheim on this trip, but Anaheim looks pretty good. I mean, they just had a last-second win against Pittsburgh. I mean, Trevor Zegras is starting to get going. They've got a good team.
Their youth are starting to shine.
Yeah, LA. I mean, the Pacific Division. It just seems to me like, I mean, it's definitely Vegas's to win. I mean, like they're gonna win that division. Vegas is still very good. I think they're a shoo-in to go to the Western Conference Final.
Bold prediction. Let's write that down.
That's not that bold. That's a lukewarm prediction.
It's early.
It is a prediction, but it's one I feel very confident
Alex guarantees.
Well, what's your prediction for the Western Conference Final right now?
Oh, I don't have a prediction right now. I don't.
Well, you have to.
I don't like to make predictions until American Thanksgiving, Alex. So I'm not going to play your little game.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to predict it's going to be Vegas and Dallas in the Western Conference Final.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Vegas and Dallas. Vegas wins in 6 games.
Wow. Let's write that down.
Okay. Yeah, you getting that down?
I'm writing it.
All right. By the way, I'm just going to add another prediction since we're doing this.
Whoa.
I didn't know we were doing this, but
bold predictions.
I'm going to say Nashville misses the playoffs.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Alex guarantees Preds don't make playoffs.
You got to make one prediction. If I'm putting all this on the line, step up to the plate.
I predict,
to use a baseball term. That's a baseball term. Step up to the plate.
This is a hockey show, Alex. We're going to talk about hockey, and my bold hockey prediction is that everyone's going to have a great time.
Okay, that's not a really good prediction, but so we'll see what happens. I think this is a big stretch. I mean, a 5-game road trip. You want to come away with a couple wins, and they did not get it started off right with Vancouver. What do you think about the last time we saw the Predators play? You kind of alluded to this earlier. The last time we saw them play like kind of a bad game, Burnett was pretty adamant. He was hot.
Yeah.
He was cheesed off.
Ooh.
He was ornery.
He was a bit miffed.
He
if
was.
you will.
And he got him going. And they came back and won the next game. You think that happens here?
I'd like to see it happen here. I think it can happen here too. Okay. I mean, they've had a chance to practice. He's had a chance to let them know how things are going to be. Give them their marching orders, and I guess we'll just see if they respond.
Yeah, I think they probably will, and it'll all get going tomorrow night in Edmonton. But speaking of get going, let's go ahead and get going with the 3-on-3 draft.
Oh boy,
what do you think, Sean?
Oh, I'm ready. Well, I'm ready-ish. We'll just say that. A lot of hard decisions.
So today's 3-on-3 draft, as our producer Jake gets us going with the right music here. We are drafting. If you don't know what we're doing, this is where we draft a topic. We draft something at the end of the show. It's just a nice little fun end-of-topic show after covering the Predators for this whole show.
It's just for fun.
Just for fun. Today, we are drafting our TV families. Okay, Sean? TV families.
Okay.
Now, here, let's explain this real quick. Let's explain kind of what's going on here. Because you have to draft 3 things.
Three family members.
3 family members. The first, not the first one, but you have to fill these spots. So this is like a fantasy team, basically.
Okay.
You got to fill these spots. You got to fill a parent.
All right.
A sibling.
Okay.
And a flex or wild card spot. So that last one could be another parent, another sibling, could be something else, a cousin, a grandparent, whatever.
Okay.
You can obviously go in any order, but at the end of the draft, you got to have a parent, a sibling, and a flex or wild card in that spot. Okay.
Okay. And I want to clarify because this always gets a little hairy, but it's not to make the funniest family or to make the most entertaining family or the nicest family. It's just this is who has the best family.
Yeah, and that's producer Jake is going to determine who has the best family. So let's just get it going because I think we just need to see it. And by the way, here's an example. Since we have the Simpsons going, I'm just going to give this as an example. So, like, for example, your family could be Homer Simpson, which would be the parent.
Right.
Bart Simpson, which would be the sibling.
Sibling, yeah.
And then, like, Ned Flanders or something as your neighbor or cousin. Is he related to him? I don't think he's related.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't watched in a while.
Okay. All right, my first pick in the family draft is Danny Tanner, the best TV dad of all time from Full House. Danny Tanner is my pick as my dad. My parent is Danny Tanner.
Okay.
And that's a great pick.
All right. I'm also going to go with parent first. Not that I'm in danger of you choosing this parent because you've already chosen a parent.
This is some strategy. You could switch around your draft picks because you already know I've got a parent.
There's a lot here. I think my other options are safe. I don't think we're going to line up. I mean, with you going like with white bread Danny Tanner, I think I'm going to be just fine. I'm not particularly worried about it.
Okay.
I'm going to draft parent. I'm going to go with another dad, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Is he a dad in that show?
Yeah, that's how it ends.
How it
has
ends?
2 stepdaughters and they have a child.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. And that's a great dad because he's gonna. I mean, he's great at everything, right?
He's good at everything.
Not great bedside manner.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think he'll be fine.
If you came to
again, we're not talking about best family.
Okay. If you came to Ron Swanson with relationship troubles, he'd just be like, go eat a steak or something.
That's a solid. That's
good
a solid
advice.
solution. I don't see a problem there.
All right, my second round pick. I'm gonna pick Jesse Pinkman as my brother from Breaking Bad. You don't know who that is?
I know who it is. I'm not sure.
And I'll
what's
tell you why.
happening.
Because Jesse Pinkman is hilarious, and you want a hilarious brother. You want a hilarious brother that you can chill and hang out with, maybe go cause some trouble, and
apparently,
get in
produce and crystal meth.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well,
make some money.
I just want to let everybody know that's illegal.
Jesse Pinkman. Yeah, don't do that. But Jesse Pinkman is going to be my brother because he's awesome.
Okay.
Everyone loves Jesse Pinkman.
Okay,
go. Just
All right.
go make your pick.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and choose my sibling as well. And like you said, you want a cool brother you can hang out with, have a good time with.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I choose Bobby Hill.
Okay.
From King of the Hill.
All right, that's good. Bobby, can you do a good Hank Hill impression?
No.
Okay. No,
I'm
you're
not
gonna try?
even. Bobby. I
There
don't
you
know
go.
if that's good.
That's fine.
I just raised my voice.
But what is he good at? He's not good at anything.
What do you mean? So, look, you complained about Ron Swanson's bedside manner. Bobby Hill is all bedside manner.
Okay,
he's
that's
caring.
good.
He's considerate.
Yeah.
He's kind.
Yeah. I already know that my final pick is not even on your board. And I know that it's
You don't know that.
I do know.
Okay.
I know for sure.
Okay.
I know for sure. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, my third pick in the family draft is a very much a wild card. I guess this would count as a sibling.
Okay.
I'm going with Grogu, a.k.a. Baby Yoda, as my sibling, as my wild card pick.
You know that you're a lot closer than you thought.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm because
for obvious reasons, number one, Baby Yoda, Grogu, as he's called, is just fantastic. He's adorable. He's helpful. He can get you out of a jam. He's portable. You can carry him anywhere. I mean, he's just awesome. So I'm going with Grogu as my third pick.
All right, my third pick, my wild card, and I wouldn't consider this a sibling.
By the way, this is the most I've ever listened to the Simpsons theme song. This is like pretty
Really?
crazy. Yeah. But
Okay.
keep going.
All right, here we go. You said you knew that it wasn't on my list, and I'll admit, Grogu is not on my list. Another alien life form is on my list, and that's Alf. Remember Alf, Alex?
Alf, yeah.
He's back. This time he's on my list of the best sitcom
Now,
family.
what planet was Alf from? He was like
Melmac.
Okay, all right. You must have been a big Alf guy.
Who among us, Alex, is not a big Alf guy?
I remember the show. I remember thinking that I was supposed to like it, and I didn't really like it that
Alex,
much.
he eats cats.
I know, but is that a good thing?
Do you want cats hanging around? I don't.
I like cats.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I mean, everybody has their flaws.
All right, so I've got Danny Tanner, Jesse Pinkman, and Grogu. You have?
I have Ron Swanson, Bobby Hill, and Alf.
Okay. Who wins the best family draft?
Well, Alex, first of all, I want to say if you want to listen to more of The Simpsons, this is a 10-hour video, so you can listen as much as you want.
Write that down.
Send me that link. Beer me that link.
So, I love Ron Swanson, Sean. I'm concerned about the fit. He's not apparent until the very end of the show.
Okay.
That's not really who he is in Parks and Rec, so I'm going to give Alex the win here. Danny Tanner is the is the TV dad, and then Jesse Pinkman's a good brother choice.
Danny Tanner's a clear number 1 overall pick. Wait, what about Jesse Pinkman? I missed that.
That's a great brother choice.
Yeah,
he does some illegal things, but he's fun to hang out with around the house.
There you go. Exactly.
I just
you
feel
want
like
to just
there's-
listen to music and watch a movie with him.
I feel like there's just a level of criminal activity that's beyond acceptable in any
We don't have to
family.
get in. We don't have to talk about that part.
It's okay. It's okay. I can take the loss. I feel like things would have gotten awkward if I went 3 in a row. So.
All right. Well, here we go. That's the end of the show. Thank you very much for listening to Penalty Box Radio Live, presented by Salas Realty Group and Nashville Spartans. Fantastic show. Thank you to Tanner Molendyke for joining us. We hope everyone had a good time. Stay tuned tomorrow night for the next game of the Predator schedule against who was it? Seattle. We just talked about it. And next week we'll be back 7 p.m. as usual. Penalty Box Radio Live. John, have a good week.
Good night, Alex.
Good night.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Insightful discussion.
When we talk about the person that these players are.
3 goals scored in the first 5 minutes.
He wants to be the starter, day one. Mixed with spirited debate.
Okay, but
They are Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. With Caroline Fenton, Willie Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
We got the whole thing covered. We got it all covered.
Weekdays at 11 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Get ready to dig into the future of construction. Look no further than Parman Tractor and Equipment. They've got the power and precision you need with Link Belt excavators, where red means go. Whether you're looking to rent or buy, Link Belt excavators are known for reliability and performance. When you see that red and gray machine on the job site, you know it's time to get things done. Parman Tractor's team offers unparalleled service. Visit parmantractor.com and get in the dirt with employee owners of Parman, where red means go. Don't miss out on totally outrageous customer service.
Your company's hiring. Who isn't? We would love to show you how to use 102.5 The Game to attract and retain employees. We can also help you find the exact person you're looking for with a targeted digital campaign. You can trust our team to help you build your team. Email us at together@cromwellmedia.com.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Ross Chastain will be first to finish in the Ally 500 at Nashville Super Speedway.
Nashville's exclusive home for NASCAR. 102.5 and 106.3.
Checkered flag is in the air. Man, this is a win in the cup race.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
That game right now on other ESPN radio outlets. In the aftermath of the James Harden trade to the Clippers, 76ers GM Daryl Morey with some thoughts today.
Honestly, I think he chose to handle things certain ways that I wouldn't have. He might feel the same on us, that we should have moved quicker, whatever. Look, he's a great player. He's going to do great things for the Clippers. PJ Tucker as well. I'm glad they're in the West. We wish him well. Had a long run with them, as he said. I think this will just be a blip.
Daryl Morey. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins had surgery today on his torn right Achilles. He'll miss the rest of the season and could become a free agent. But Coach Kevin O'Connell says he wants Cousins to stay. Coastal Carolina quarterback Grayson McCall will miss his second game in a row with an apparent concussion. The Chanticleers play at Old Dominion on Saturday.
Hey, it's Greeny, and we could possibly be crowning a champion in Major League Baseball. World Series Game 5, Rangers looking to wrap it up. We'll be the place to talk about it on Thursday morning. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Y'all, welcome to Hoop Collective Podcast. We talk about the NBA, which we're doing on Sunday evening. Apologies, we missed podcast on Friday. I was under the weather. Hopefully recovered now. And, not much had happened in the NBA. I mean, it was just the first couple days of the season. We didn't miss anything. So what's the problem? Sorry. Anyway, joining us from the center, some people would call it the Core State Spectrum. I think that's what it was called when I first started covering the league, the Core State Spectrum. But maybe it was called something, or maybe that, I don't know, whatever it was. It's Tim Bontemps.
The Sixers would probably prefer to call it that than the Wells Fargo Center, which is what it's named. Glad you're feeling better, man. And it just gives us more to talk about today. So lots of
you were at the Blazers visiting the Sixers today. Terrific game for Joel Embiid. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Joining us from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He was on hand to see the Nuggets work over the Oklahoma City Thunder in their home opener on Sunday. Is Ben McMahon.
Howdy, partners. Watch the best big man in the league today. No offense to one Joel Embiid, but it's just a simple fact. One of them's got a ring. One of them's got twice as many MVPs. Good to be back with you, boys.
I'm just going to say that, was it on Friday? Jokic threw a 70-foot?
No, 33 yard. That kind of pass you measure in yards.
Well, the court isn't 33 yards, but I know what you're saying.
It was a touchdown.
He inbounded the ball at the foul line.
He threw an alley-oop to Aaron Gordon from the opposite coach's box. That's what he did.
Yes.
From out of bounds and inbound.
Well, yes. And honestly, part of the crazy thing here was it's not like he got the ball